Yesterday, Doug Bowser, the president of Nintendo of America, announced that he is stepping down after only 6 years of being in that position. And this entire situation has actually been stirring up a bit of controversy on the internet. So, in today's video, I'm going to explain how Doug Bowser retiring impacts Nintendo. And of course, we'll take a look at a few fan reactions of the entire situation because those tend to be very interesting. Let's get started. So yesterday, in the late afternoon, Doug Bowser posted the following tweet on his X profile. This tweet says, quote, "Today, I announced my plan to retire from Nintendo effective December 31st, 2025. He then talks about his history as a Nintendo fan, and later in the tweet he says, quote, "I extend my best wishes to Devon Pritchard as she leads Nintendo of America forward." He then ends off the tweet by reiterating that he is a Nintendo fan, which I just find so funny because basically the main complaint that Nintendo fans have had about him is that he's too corporate and not very exciting compared to Reggie, who fans loved. Bowser also mentioned that Devon Pritchard will be his replacement, which I'll get to in a minute, because that's not the only leadership change that's going on at Nintendo of America. According to Stealth over on X, Satoru Shibata is joining Nintendo of America as the CEO. Now this is pretty interesting because Satoru Shibata is a Nintendo executive at Nintendo Global, meaning that this guy is one of the primary decision makers of what happens at Nintendo. And the interesting part is that the position that Shibata is filling is actually above the Chief of Operations of Nintendo of America. So essentially what that means is that Satoru Shibata is actually going to be above the position that Doug Bowser is vacating. And he's filling a position that's been vacant for 10 years after Satoru Iwata, who was the former president of Nintendo Global and the former CEO of Nintendo of America, which is the position in question. And after he unfortunately passed away, the seat was never filled. But now, along with Doug Bowser's retirement, Nintendo is placing Satoru Shibata into this position. And Satoru Shibata has actually had a pretty diverse tenure at Nintendo. He's held positions at Nintendo of Australia, Nintendo of Europe, the Pokemon Company. He's been an executive at Nintendo Global, and now most recently he's going to be the Chief Executive Officer at Nintendo of America. But now let's take a look at who Doug Bowser's replacement is, Devon Pritchard. According to LinkedIn, Devon Pritchard has been the Executive Vice President of Revenue, Marketing, and Consumer Experience at Nintendo of America. And she's been working at the company for almost 20 years, since 2006. So clearly she has some experience. And also Reggie seems to think that she's talented, so that's always a good sign. But next I want to take a look at how fans are reacting to this change. But before I do that, if you've been enjoying this video so far, would you click that like button and hit subscribe? It really helps me out when you do so. I also recently started channel memberships where I'm going to be posting tons of members only content. Currently I have 2 members only videos posted, but I plan to make many more in the future. I also have plenty of other benefits that I'm offering. If supporting how-to gaming sounds like something that interests you, click the join button below for more information. But anyway, let's get into the fan reactions of this leadership change. The first fan reaction comes from Kabi over on X. They said, quote, "It's likely that Doug Bowser retired because he's tired of working, but I'll always wonder if any of these had any weight on today's Nintendo of America new president announcement. Misinformation, game keycards, lawsuits, drop the price. A PR nightmare since June. Honestly, it is kind of funny that he would be retiring around this time. I honestly think Nintendo hate was at an all-time high after it was announced that Mario Kart Worlds would cost $80. In addition to that, the myth that Mario Kart Worlds physical copy would cost $90 really helped that hate gain traction. And game keycards were and are still controversial. If Doug Bowser was actually stressed out about all this, I wouldn't be surprised that he was retiring, and I honestly wouldn't even blame him. The next fan reaction from Arrow said, quote, "The only thing I remember during Doug Bowser's presidency at Nintendo of America was this meme when he appeared once in a direct. Hope this new president is more hands-on with the community and likes interacting with fans, because I really missed that after Reggie left. I think that that's actually the only time that Doug Bowser appeared in a direct versus the countless times that Reggie appeared. And I actually think that Doug Bowser made a mistake by only appearing once in a Nintendo Direct. Had Doug Bowser have just stayed back and never actually gotten in the public spotlight, people would not have such a negative persona of him. But instead, he just appeared in one Nintendo Nintendo Direct and that's it. So Nintendo fans who ended up comparing him to Reggie figured that he was more corporate and more unfriendly. Michael Kerner said, quote, "So sad that Doug Bowser is leaving Nintendo. Truthfully, he was not as strong as Reggie was, but he helped deliver a good effort with Nintendo for generations. I do hope that the next head really brings more bite for the bucks." First of all, I don't know what you mean by generations because Doug Bowser has only been in this position for just over 6 years. Also, I don't even know why somebody would be sad that he's leaving because he was not exciting at all. The last one comes from Jared Nabenbauer who said, quote, "Nah, I know this play. He'll be back as dry Doug Bowser right when we think he's gone." I see what you did there. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. Thanks for watching.